guys, it's Cassie and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I thought it would be super fun to show you guys how to make some patchwork tees. It was a nice sunny day out today, so I thought I'd move my workstation out onto my balcony. You're going to need a couple of t-shirts, scissors, a ruler, something to mark your lines with, so a pencil, a pen, some chalk, and a sewing machine. It's go time, so grab your t-shirts and start stacking them on top of each other. For this tutorial, I used 3 t-shirts, but you guys can use 2 or 4 or 5 or 6, however many you want. Just keep in mind that the more t-shirts you use, the more times you'll have to repeat these steps, and I'll explain why later. When you're picking out your t-shirts, make sure that they're the same size. Don't pair a size small with a size large because things just aren't going to line up. Make sure all your shirts are laying down flat and beautiful, because if they're not, your lines are going to be all bumpy and jagged and messy. This is when you grab your ruler and something to mark your lines with. I just used a pair of scissors to trace my lines onto the shirt, but here you can be creative and create whatever shapes you want to do. I recommend doing triangles, squares, rectangles. Round shapes are a little bit harder to do. Now it's time to cut everything up. Just cut along the lines that you made. Now for the fun part, you get to mix and match your shirt pieces. Want to see something tragic? Look at this. This happened way too many times. If you're gonna take anything away from this tutorial, please do not do patchwork outside, especially if it's windy. It's just not a good combination. If you cut everything out properly, all of your pieces should be lining up pretty perfectly on the floor. Now it's time to start putting our shirt back together. You're gonna grab some pins and you're gonna take your pieces of your t-shirt and make the good sides touch each other and pin all the way down along the edges. Make sure your pieces are lining up on both sides so that you don't have a piece that's longer than the other. Don't pin all of your pieces together at the same time. We're going to be going back and forth from pinning to our sewing machine. Now it's time to sew, because I'm probably gonna end up selling this shirt, or I'll actually want to end up wearing it. I'm using my serger rather than my sewing machine because it'll make everything look more professional on the inside, but you can definitely just use a sewing machine. All you gotta do here is sew along where the pins are and just use a simple straight stitch. Here's a little trick for all of you people using a serger. You can use one of these crocheting tools and stick it through your serged hem and pull the end of the threads through the hem. Then you don't have to tie a knot. Here's where it gets a little bit repetitive. We're going to repeat the last 2 steps over and over again until our t-shirt is complete. So grab another piece of your t-shirt and start pinning it to what you just sewed. Remember to make the good sides touch each other and make sure that the ends of your fabric line up. Just like before, we're going to sew along where the pins are. Fun fact, I put off patchwork projects for the longest time. I thought it was super intimidating at first, but it's really not. It's kind of like creating your own puzzle and putting it back together. I'd say the hardest part about patchwork is how tedious it can get, because if you take apart 5 t-shirts and you don't want to waste any fabric, you're gonna end up making 5 more t-shirts. But if you're patient, you can create some pretty crazy stuff. So if you were intimidated to try patchwork, I hope this tutorial encourages you guys to step out of your comfort zone and try it out. You know what to do. Take the next piece and start pinning it up, good sides touching, ends lining up. Sew those pieces together. Don't give up. Don't lose motivation. You're gonna have super awesome clothes for spring and summer. Flipping everything right side out is so satisfying. My shirt is finally starting to look like a shirt again. I'm on my last pinning step. The final sewing step. This is so exciting. If you guys have been following along with me, you should have a complete reworked patchwork t-shirt by the end of this step. I am so proud of you for trying something new. It's exciting. You're gonna look amazing for spring, for summer. If you guys do end up creating some form of patchwork, whether it be a shirt, a sweatshirt, a hoodie, even pants, tag me on Instagram, tag me on TikTok. I love seeing your guys' creations. It makes me love creating videos like this even more. My social media handles are linked down below, so feel free to send me any messages with questions or just things that you guys want to share with me. Time to flip the t-shirt right side out. I don't know why, but this t-shirt kind of reminds me of a popsicle. I did end up using all of the other pieces of the t-shirt to make 2 other t-shirts, so stick around until the end to see how those turned out.